Back to California, where voters again are deciding if the new Democratic drawn maps should take effect with a yes vote on Prop 50. Or if they vote no, it would keep the current maps in place, which were designed by the independent California Citizens Redistricting Commission. Those maps were drawn after the 2020 census. We are joined now by two members of that independent redistricting commission, Republican Neil Fornashari, who leads the commission now, and Democrat Cynthia Dye, who was on the state's inaugural commission in 2010. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Neil, I want to start with you first, with the current commission. What are conversations like right now among members with Prop 50 hanging in the balance?
Yeah, we've had a number of conversations about Prop 50. I happened to be chair when this all came out. We put together a statement by the commission. Prior to a meeting, we met. You know, we've had a number of conversations. We have folks on both sides. You know, people are free to have their opinions, and they have their First Amendment rights to have their different opinions. I will say that 7 of us have written an op-ed that will be hopefully published soon, opposing Prop 50.
But the commission is divided. Is that basically
the commission
what you're
is
saying?
divided, yes, but you know, there are 3 folks that have spoken out for yes, and 7 of us at this point have spoken out against. But we all get along, you know, and work through things the same way we work through making the maps.
Cynthia, as a Democrat, what do you make of the messaging, though, on the Yes on 50 side, which the Yes campaign is basically painting this as a referendum against President Donald Trump, who has been agitating Democrats in the state?
Well, you know, a lot of my friends are confused about 50, and for good reason. 50 says that it will protect democracy, and yet it's setting aside a citizen-drawn map that 35,000 Californians participated in, and silences California communities, which is essentially undemocratic. It says it will stop Trump, yet on November 5th, Trump will still be president. He will still be ruling by executive order. He will still be largely ignoring the agencies that Congress has created, the appropriations that they've made. And he will still be testing the limits of the judicial system, so it won't do that either. And the math doesn't work out, as your fellow reporter said. There are way more red, you know, states that control map drawing than blue states, so it won't even accomplish that.
So to you, this could be a lost cause?
I don't think it's a lost cause, but I think 50 is the wrong response. I mean, if the goal is to win back Congress, why would the legislature put a proposition on that will gain 3 to 5 seats, because 5 is not guaranteed, when Neil's commission put in place over a dozen fair and competitive districts? Why cap it?
For both of you, this week there was a proposed ballot initiative that entered circulation here in California that would prohibit the state lawmakers who voted to put Prop 50 on the ballot from running for elected office in California. That includes Congress, that includes statewide office, that includes local offices. Is that fair to you, Neil?
It's absolutely fair to me. Those are the same rules that apply to us as commissioners. We're not allowed to run for local office or appointed local office for 5 years, and no statewide offices for 10 years. So the same rules should apply.
Cynthia?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, we want to get rid of the self-dealing that's going on, where politicians are selecting their voters rather than the other way around. And this way, they will not be able to run in the districts they just designed for themselves.
The proponents of this, the Yes campaign, essentially, they're saying this is temporary. How confident are you that this is temporary?
I'm not confident at all. It's temporary till the next crisis. The you know, 2030, California is going to lose between 3 and 6 congressional seats. So that's next crisis up.
Cynthia?
I think the crisis will come even sooner. The Supreme Court is actually considering potentially dismantling the Voting Rights Act, and Prop 50 already splinters black and brown communities and fast-growing Asian communities. And pretty soon, nobody will have a representative that they can elect.
Cynthia and Neil, we really appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for having us.